Hey there! Welcome back to PsycKeys, where we unlock the mysteries of the mind together. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's close to my heart and crucial for your well-being. Self-love. But forget the clichés you've heard before. We're about to explore 9 powerful ways to nurture love for yourself that you probably haven't considered. Ready to revolutionize your relationship with yourself? Let's jump in. Surprisingly, the path to self-love starts with accepting your inner critic. Research shows that trying to silence negative self-talk often backfires. Instead, acknowledge these thoughts without judgment. Try naming your inner critic. Let's call her Debbie Downer. When you hear that voice say, "Thanks for your input, Debbie, but I've got this." This approach, known as cognitive diffusion, helps create distance between you and your thoughts, reducing their impact. Here's a practical exercise. Set aside 5 minutes each day for a critic's corner. Write down everything your inner critic says, then read it aloud in a silly voice. This simple act can help you see these thoughts for what they are. Just thoughts, not facts. Over time, you'll find it easier to acknowledge your inner critic without being ruled by it. Here's an interesting fact. Physical touch releases oxytocin, the love hormone, even when that touch comes from yourself. A study from the University of California found that self-administered touch, like gently stroking your arm or holding your own hand, activates the same neural pathways as receiving a hug from a loved one. Let's practice this right now. Place one hand on your heart and the other on your belly. Take a deep breath and feel the warmth of your hands. As you exhale, think or say, "I am here for myself." Do this for 3 breaths. This simple practice can be a powerful tool for self-soothing in moments of stress or anxiety. Try incorporating this into your daily routine, perhaps when you wake up or before bed, to build a habit of physical self-compassion. Let's talk about a fascinating psychological phenomenon called the foreign language effect. Research from the University of Chicago shows that when people use a foreign language, they tend to make more rational, less emotionally biased decisions. Why? Because foreign languages are less emotionally charged for us. But here's the cool part. We can apply this effect to self-love, even if we're not bilingual. The key is creating emotional distance from our thoughts, similar to how a foreign language does. Here's how. Third-person technique. Instead of saying "I messed up," say "your name messed up." This simple switch can help you view your actions more objectively. The imaginary translation technique. Pretend you're translating your thoughts into another language, then back to your native language. This mental exercise can help reduce the emotional intensity. The compassionate friend approach. Imagine giving advice to a friend in the same situation, but in a different language. What would you say? Now, apply that same compassionate advice to yourself. Let's try it out. Think of a recent mistake you made. Now, instead of saying "I'm so stupid for doing that," say "Your name made a mistake, and that's okay." What can he/she learn from this? Notice how this slight shift creates a sense of distance and objectivity, allowing for more self-compassion. Remember, the goal isn't to disconnect from your emotions entirely, but to create enough distance to respond to yourself with kindness and wisdom, just as you would to a good friend speaking a different language. Let's explore a counterintuitive path to self-love, experiencing awe. Awe is that feeling you get when you encounter something vast, complex, or beyond your usual understanding. Think of standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon, or learning about the immensity of the universe. Here's the fascinating part. Research from UC Berkeley shows that experiencing awe actually helps us love ourselves more. How? By temporarily shrinking our sense of self. When we feel small in the face of something grand, our daily worries and self-criticisms often fade away. This creates space for a broader, more compassionate view of ourselves and our place in the world. So, how can you invite more awe into your life? It's simpler than you might think. Spend time in nature, even if it's just cloud watching in a local park. Explore amazing scientific facts or discoveries online. Listen to music that moves you deeply. Watch videos of space exploration or deep-sea creatures. Remember, the goal isn't to diminish yourself, but to expand your perspective. In doing so, you may find a more gentle, accepting relationship with yourself. People who feel more connected to their future selves make better decisions today and experience more self-love. This phenomenon, called future self-continuity, can be a powerful tool for fostering self-compassion and making choices that benefit your long-term well-being. Spend 10 minutes each day this week connecting with your future self. This could be through journaling, visualization, or even having a conversation with your future self during your day. Notice how this practice influences your daily decisions and your feelings towards your present self. Loving kindness meditation is a well-known technique for cultivating compassion. Traditionally, this practice involved sending good wishes to others. But here's our twist. We're starting with yourself. Why? Because many of us find it easier to be kind to others than to ourselves. By directing loving kindness inward first, we're rewiring our brains to prioritize self-compassion. Here's a simple version to try. Sit comfortably and take a few deep breaths. Imagine yourself as a child or in a moment when you felt vulnerable. Repeat these phrases silently. May I be happy? May I be healthy? May I be safe? May I live with ease? Really feel the intention behind each phrase. If your mind wanders or you feel resistance, that's normal. Just gently return to the phrases. The magic happens with consistency. Even 5 minutes daily can gradually shift how you relate to yourself, fostering a more compassionate inner voice. Do this practice for 5 minutes daily, gradually increasing the time as you feel comfortable. Over time, you can expand this practice to include loved ones, neutral people, and even those you find difficult. Self-love isn't just about feeling good. It's about living in alignment with your values. Research shows that engaging in value-affirming activities boosts self-esteem and reduces stress. Here's a practical exercise to identify and live your values. 1. Write down 5 to 10 values that are important to you, like creativity, honesty, growth, and connection. 2. For each value, rate how important it is to you and how well you're currently living it. 3. Choose one value with a gap between importance and current living. 4. Brainstorm 3 small actions you can take this week to live this value more fully. 5. Commit to taking these actions and notice how it affects your sense of self. Consider journaling about how living your values impacts your self-perception and overall well-being. Goal setting is great, but it can sometimes fuel self-criticism. Enter self-compassionate goal setting. Instead of focusing solely on achievement, set goals that prioritize your well-being and growth. Here's how to practice compassionate goal setting. First, identify an area of your life you want to improve. Second, instead of a rigid outcome goal, set a process goal that focuses on learning and growth. Third, frame your goal in positive, self-compassionate language. For example, instead of lose 10 pounds, try nourish my body with foods that make me feel energized and move in ways that bring me joy. Instead of get a promotion, try develop skills that make me feel confident and valuable in my work. Each time you take a step, acknowledge your effort and growth, regardless of the outcome. Let's wrap up with a beautiful Japanese concept, wabi-sabi. the art of finding beauty in imperfection. Apply this to yourself by celebrating your quirks and perceived flaws. That crooked smile? It's uniquely yours. Those laugh lines? They're a map of your joy. Here's a simple exercise. 1. Look at yourself in a mirror for 5 minutes and set a timer. 2. For each feature you typically criticize, find something to appreciate about it. 3. Write down these appreciations in a self-love journal. Remember, the goal isn't to love every part of yourself all the time. It's to cultivate a gentle, accepting relationship with all aspects of who you are. Each day this week, write down one thing you appreciate about your body, mind, or character, especially something you usually view as a flaw. At the end of the week, read through your list and notice how this practice has shifted your self-perception. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of self-love. Remember, self-love isn't a destination, it's an ongoing practice. If you found value in this video, please hit that like button. It really helps the algorithm show our content to others who might benefit. And if you're new here, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell to join our community of curious minds and self-growth enthusiasts. Remember, you are worthy of love, especially from yourself. Until next time, take care.